Good afternoon, and welcome to Anime and Beer.
No, it is not. That is not our intro. Do not ruin it.
Oh, sorry.
What's up, everybody? Tuning back into Anime and Beer. We're also live on Twitch right now with this channel. Follow us on Twitch, Anime and Beer 93. We got our buddies here, Mr. Maple, and then Quentin Keener, aka Q, that one dude, and myself, Garrett, Black Belt in Anime. All right, today we talk about the latest topics, manga, comics, you name it. So get ready, crack open a cold one. Let's get after it, Anime and Beer. Guys, today's a pretty controversial topic. Controversial topic.
Very controversial.
You know, the topic today, you haven't seen also on our Twitch stream and what you guys are listening to right now as a recording for YouTube for later, subbed or dubbed. You know, subbed or dubbed. What, like, I mean, do you guys have a preference, or you guys have something you prefer, or you like more, or?
I could definitely say this was like the toughest decision than deciding, red or blue.
For real, yeah, for sure, red or blue, subbed or dubbed.
It depends for me.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on the anime. It depends on how the character sounds.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to sub versus dub, because I'm gonna go ahead and just jump head first. Goku's English voice actor doesn't do it for me. I prefer his Japanese voice actor.
Which I'm completely opposite. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we're just talking about that. Well, I love Sean Shamel. Sean Shamel has been, I'm sorry, wrong pipe, has been Goku for me since I was a little kid. But I definitely agree. But I also like the subbed actor because she has, I forget her name. I know I'm horrible. I'm supposed to be like the biggest Dragon Ball fan, but I forget her. I forget her name. But I want to say she's been the same voice actor since Dragon Ball. So you kind of have to pay some respect on that. Got to put some respect on that name because she's been it since Kid Goku here, all the way up to Dragon Ball Super and Ultra Instinct and so on. So which is super cool is me personally, I can do One Piece subbed. Mm-hmm. I can't do it dubbed. I feel like English voice actors try way too hard.
I'm having a flashback to high school, to science class, where they did the little chart where it was like, is the voice good? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
and then it's like, is the translation decent? Yes or no? Like it breaks down.
Off.
Oh man,
well,
there's like a million
crazy.
factors to it. It's.
I tell you what, listening to it in Spanish. You ever heard Vegeta in Spanish?
Dude, that was the thing back in the
Vegeta,
day
I've heard
Spanish.
of them in German.
Dude,
when you were trying to get a hold of
very
the new,
angry.
when you're trying to get a hold of new shows on YouTube, they were all in Spanish because it would be on the
40 frames per second.
It would be on the North American servers because it was in America, but it was in Spanish because Americans always want to copyright stuff. So
definitely. I know what you mean. It's like definitely legal terms. Yeah, like that's why I was like I remember when Shippuden first came to North America and it was subbed. It was still the Japanese language, but the translation underneath the bottom was Spanish. And like the whole episode was like Naruto. I was like, I don't know what it is. I just know that dude's Naruto, and I'm gonna watch it. And I would go to read the subtitles, and it was all in Spanish. And I was like, damn, I really should have paid attention in that 10th grade Spanish class.
On that curiosity question, since we're on this subject, before we get into subbed and dubbed, have you ever had an anime that you loved so much that they came out with a new movie or an episode and it wasn't subbed or dubbed yet? Did you watch it in just pure Japanese? Have either of you done that? I have. I've just once.
I think I have. I can't recall. I can't remember. But committing wise, all the way through and through, no, I haven't. I've not watched it.
It can only be the one I watched was the original Naruto and Sasuke fight when they're at the water.
Because
You didn't need subtitles. You didn't need it.
The
It
Hidden
was
Valley or something
yeah,
like that.
it was the only one that I was like, hey, I don't have to wait 12 hours or 24 hours for someone to sub this. It was like, it's all going to be battle. I don't care what they say. I'll just figure that out later.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The disappointing face of like Kashi standing over Naruto's like pretty much dead body and then being like saying something, and I'm just like, I can't tell if he's super disappointed in Naruto right now or if he feels like he failed him. And then later on, you find out he feels like he failed him. And
I mean, I tell you what. Speaking of voice actors and just watching it subbed or dubbed, have you guys? I mean, because we all know the app TikTok. Have you seen like a lot of people trying to become voice actors?
Yeah.
Like they're doing really, really good. And I've listened to them. I'm like, oh shit, that's My Hero Academia for sure.
I think what really, and again, this is just from me being on TikTok, just watching it. I think what really kind of made the jump to a lot of people wanting to be voice actors, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just observation. Since the pandemic started, a lot of celebrities, need another outlet. And I think one of the things I've observed is people realizing that voice actors are normal people.
Yeah.
So they're like,
yeah.
Wait, that guy's a voice. Like, there's one voice actor, I forgot who he voiced. It's a popular anime, but like he has like stringly hair. He looks like a bum. Like he tells you he looks bummy.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
And people are like, he's a voice actor. He's like, yeah, I'm a voice actor. I work from home now. This pandemic. People are like, well, I can do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And like now, there's this whole craze where they're in a short supply of voice actors. A lot of them. I mean, Sean Shamel passed out doing Goku's Roar, going Super Saiyan. I think in Battle of Gods, he passed out in the studio for doing because I mean, like for those that don't watch Dragon Ball at home, like they always yell during transformations and power ups. He passed out in the booth performing this scene, and I'm like, holy shit. And then the OG Broly, I think it's Vic. No, Vic's the new one. The older one from the original Broly 3 set from Dragon Ball Z. He hurt his larynx in his throat from saying Kakarot too much. Like he busted vocal cords in his voice from going Kakarot, like doing it over and over and over and over again.
So it's definitely a dangerous job.
Yeah, it's a draining job, and like people want to talk about like acting in general. Voice acting is extremely hard too. Portraying that because the animation's already done for you, but then going back, watching the animation, like trying to get that emotion down by reading it, it's like, oh crap, because all you read is dialogue, sure, but you have the TV there. You have your booth right here. You're speaking into the mic while looking at the screen. Like, okay, this is the scene. Okay, all right, and action. It's. I respect him. English, Japanese, whatever the country you're in, I definitely respect voice acting because it's a highly, highly, highly underrated art, for sure. Anywhere you go, but I mean, anime is like me personally, I like the My Hero dubbed and subbed. That's just me.
Yeah. They're both good. It's one of the few animes that are good both ways.
Yeah. I think they match the voices on both spectrums very well.
So, on my view on it is, I like to watch it subbed the first time. One of my biggest thing was subbed, and you talk to real, authentic Japanese people, and they're like, oh well, it doesn't translate quite. Well, we get subbed, and there's a translation break there. But then when you watch subbed and then you go to dubbed and you're like, that's not even the same conversation. They're not even having the same
the translation issues.
Basis.
That's a huge topic too. Yeah,
and
translation issues.
The other big thing is, and me and Garrett talk about this before, not anime related, but we talk about Mega Man, which was supposed to be Rockman.
Yeah.
And so they Americanize everything. So now you're going to go to dubbed, and you're going to take the Japanese element out of it, and then you're going to start throwing, like, we were just talking about that, Food Wars. I love Food Wars. And my little sister came down. I didn't even know she liked anime. She watched the subbed, and she was watching it subtitled with dub. And she was like, why is the princess girl, why is she so snobby? Why is she like a stuck up? And I was like, I knew she was snobby, but I pictured her as like a formal Japanese girl, like don't get in my way, or I will cut you, almost like Azula off of Avatar.
I got to piggyback
But
off that
instead-
in a minute, but yeah.
Instead, I get like 18-year-old trust fund girl.
Pour that over the mic.
My
get it
daddy
nice and
says
right.
I got the best tongue in the world, and so you better back off. Like it's totally different concepts. And then the translation, literally, they got the dub going on, and he's like saying one sentence, and the bottom says something totally different.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
man.
time.
Every time,
And
dude.
So that's my disconnect. Now My Hero, I don't see that very much in My Hero. Maybe one or two words, but the sentence stays pretty much the same. There's a couple animes out there that do that. Honestly, generally what I like to watch is the subbed first, and then if I rewatch an anime, I'm lazy about it, and I will throw on dubbed. And I'll almost throw it on like background music. Like, hey, I'm
Yeah,
rewatching
I've done
it.
that
I'm just
too.
here really for the fight scenes
I've done
or
that
from some kind of
too.
action. And dubbed also lets me know when something's happening, so I can like look up because it's my language, And,
Yeah.
hey,
I
they're
definitely
about
see
to
the
fight.
pros and
Yo,
cons.
yo,
Yeah.
what's going on? Yeah.
I definitely see the pros and cons. Like to piggyback off of that is like when it's subbed, you know you're gonna focus. 'Cause It's
Mhm.
not your language. It's not your normal language.
That's
And
true,
the
too.
whole thing is with sub is like you're gonna sit down and you're like, huh.
Exactly.
And then like somebody comes in, shh, shh. Like honestly, if we didn't have smart TVs and this was everyday Saturday morning, like the OGs, like us, like watching Saturday morning cartoons, which Saturday mornings were anime when we were growing up. It wasn't
Yep.
cartoons. You had like maybe 1-2 cartoons, and the rest of your Saturday block was anime. I mean, you had the OG days. You had Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Digimon, even Power Rangers. Even Power Rangers is a translation.
That's another thing a lot of people don't get. I mean, it's not really anime because it's real life, but
it's Japanese.
It
Yes,
derives from Sentai.
that's
So,
what it is. Super Sentai.
Super Sentai.
Yes,
Not hentai, Sentai.
But yeah, that was, and they edited a lot of Power Rangers too because it was a lot more edgier in Japan.
I didn't even realize this until you said it, which is also a really good point for subbed versus normal Japanese, and for dubbed, because when you're watching subbed, something that you never get in dubbed is when there's writing.
Yeah,
When I'm watching subbed and there's like someone pulls up a piece of paper, I have to pause the screen because it's like a paragraph pops up on the screen and you got to read it all. But it's
Yeah.
translated.
Yeah.
And when it's in English, they like try to paraphrase, or they don't even explain, and you're like, okay, well, that's cool, but that looked kind of important.
So
What am I missing here?
So to also add on to what you're saying is, what is that? Oh, is that coffee one you were talking about?
This is the one I just got. Yeah.
Oh man, sorry. It's
This
also
is-
anime and beer, guys. Sorry, that smells delicious.
This is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I didn't even know they made stout because
we are gonna do a straight beer episode just to be funny, but we're all gonna probably do like that later on. But
This
no.
is Fuel Cafe Coffee Stout. It's
delicious.
Holy crap! Smell that! It smells
Smells
like
that.
espresso.
That does smell good.
Dude, he just told me. He totally made me forget what I was gonna say. But no, English. Even in Spanish, it's a lot of other countries because I mean
I
they
need to
say
go get some
they
creamer.
say American English, U.S. English is a lot harder to learn because there's so many slangs, there's so many different
Rules,
accents, so many different.
dialects.
Where a lot of other countries, we learn subject and predicate,
Yeah,
and so do they. But
it's reversed.
it's reversed.
In
They
almost
say
every other
they
language.
say
it's reversed.
they say the action or the flaw or the current event first, and then follow up with what are you going to do about it? To where we're like, what are you going to do about this, that, and the third? So it causes a lot of confusion with translation. I mean, to go back to the old days, Toonami put us on dubbed. But we didn't realize the complications that went into the translation. Like the internet wasn't that big. Only thing we knew about anime was Toonami, and then as you got older, YouTube was kind of like leaking it out for us. Then we got Kiss Anime. Then we got Crunchyroll. We got Funimation. Then we got Viz Media, Toei Animation, Aniplex. I'm naming people because you know what? The show is called Anime and Beer, guys. So give us some love. And
I'm having PTSD right now about the first time
He was a Marine too.
I understood the difference between dubbed and subbed, and like the huge difference on that.
Mhm.
And it was Naruto, because I watched Naruto on the internet in subbed, and I was probably like 300 episodes in, and then Toonami picked it up, and they get on there, and I think that voice actor is super famous too. I think she does Gohan or something like that as well.
The
too.
English one,
Yeah.
the original. No.
And-
I'm sorry. She was. I forget her name. I want to say her name's Linda something, but she was also in Shameless. She was in one of the seasons of Shameless, and she was at the Raleigh SuperCon, because we're in South Carolina, but she was at the Raleigh SuperCon. She was super, super cool. And also, fun fact, the English voice actor of Sasuke dated the English voice actor of Tamari. So, Tamari is the Windscythe girl.
Right, I'm tracking.
Yeah. But didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead what you were saying and everything about that.
It was. I remember sitting down. I was at my grandparents' house, and they threw on Cartoon Network for one of my little nephews, and I was like 14, 15 at the time. And then all of a sudden I hear, "Believe it!" And this like growly, you can tell it was a girl's voice trying to be a guy's voice, and I like turn and I'm like, "What is that?" And like we were just talking about that with Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and
Goku?
No, I was gonna say Naruto subbed and dubbed, like the dubbed or the sub version felt more authentic to the character. I don't know if you ever get that feeling too. Have you ever had like a character where it's just like,
that's why the kind of what I said about One Piece. I feel like One Piece was a little more authentic with the sub characters than the dubbed characters, because I feel like the dubbed characters tried. I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm saying you can definitely kind of hear the emphasizing in their voices. Like they were trying extremely, extremely hard to portray Luffy. Luffy is a dumbass, resilient kid who just wants to be Pirate King. That's all you got to do. Picture your 18-year-old son, cousin, brother, friend. That's all Luffy is. Just do that.
him like the toothpick one that weighs like $1.50 soaking wet, and
Yeah, to visualize it for you. Yeah.
and I mean, he eats all day long and doesn't have anything, and he's whiny.
Mm-hmm.
He's like he's one of the most whiny main characters I can think of. Normally it's like another character in the show that's like off to the side, like,
oh man, you're talking.
can we
You're talking
please
smack
do-"
about Luffy. Matt in the chat might come at you.
that's
bro.
fine, but he
He
is like, let's be real, like he authentically goes in head first. He does stupid stuff. He gets himself in trouble, and then he does manage to pull himself out. But out of a lot of
Kwanzaa got something to say.
I do got something to say, and I'm gonna let you finish, but it correlates to the topic.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Go ahead. Finish. He's the
Okay,
whiny
yeah.
character.
no,
You say he's the whiny character. Now, would you say he's whiny because you hear it in subbed, or do you hear it in dubbed?
Ooh.
Because to me, he's more whiny in subbed than he is in dubbed.
I haven't even actually seen any dubbed, to be honest, because I'm like on episode 900, and I don't even think they made dub past
Yeah,
And I guess
300.
you haven't seen any dub,
True,
but I
true,
just
true,
said
true,
he's
true,
more
true.
whiny to me
But-
in sub than he is in dub.
But where I was going with that is that I haven't seen the dubbed. I'm gonna have to go watch that now. But is that it would be authentic to actually have a whiny person. But what we were talking about is like in American culture, what they tend to do is then they take that whiny character, they go to American, and then they make like, I am Luffy, I shall destroy
Well,
everyone,
it
and
was
you're
a-
like,
it was
whoa,
a-
wait, weren't
yeah,
you
it
supposed to be
was
a
a-
whiny little?
That's kind
yeah.
of what they did. That's why I made that statement.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's what they did with a lot of characters. But if you've also noticed too, especially with anime now being more mainstream, they definitely are pushing the male characters to have male voice actors, and it wasn't always like that.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't
is
always
weird,
like that.
because
it wasn't always
Naruto
like
had
that.
a female.
Yeah.
Ash Ketchum had a female.
It's
It's
ironic
I think
because
the character in Gundam has a female too.
Teen Gohan and former Kid Goku both had the same voice actor. She was a female. Frieza, the original voice actor for Frieza, was a female.
Mhm.
I mean, there was a lot of female actresses that were antagonists and amazing at it. And I mean, that scratchy voice, that whiny little kid voice, like, you couldn't get a dude to play. You couldn't get me to play a 12-year-old now. You couldn't do it.
No.
I mean, I respect it because my voice isn't like that anymore. My voice is way deeper. Maybe a more adolescent character, an older character, I probably could. A deeper character, yeah. And I think I have a deep voice, but I think for men, I think there's a lot of other men that have just like, I don't talk like this all the time, but
I think
like
one of the biggest things being between dubbed and subbed is the main character. Is if you're going to do it in Japanese and they're going to do it subbed, your voice actor needs to be as close to the same tone as the dubbed character. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you got like just the I was just telling him it was like, what's his name, Zach Galifianakis, the guy from
Hangover.
No,
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron was just complaining about his Spanish voice. He just won a Emmy for Mexico, and he goes to the thing and he's like, yeah, everyone's coming out and they all have normal voices, and then he goes, my character comes out and he goes, hola, ¿cómo estás? And he's like, is this a joke? What's going on? And then his manager leans over and goes, that's been your voice actor since High School Musical 1. And he goes, I just did a Marine voice, and now all I'm picturing is like, Black Hawk Down, need backup.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really know. I mean, that was funny. The Hunter x Hunter one you shared the other day in the group chat, and it was like English, Japanese, Italian, and it was Mario's voice. It was like, no. That's what I'm saying. Is like it's different, man. It's all across the board. I was explaining earlier before the chat too. Was Naruto again? The same voice actor. I mean, the same voice actor for Naruto is in Boruto. The same lady. And it was the same voice actor, the female voice actor in the Japanese. And I remember watching the Boruto movie or Naruto movie, whichever one, Boruto the last movie, or Boruto whatever. That movie where they fought it was that sick ass fight scene with him and Sasuke on in a different place. Anyway, that movie, Naruto sounded like a full grown man. Like, he sounded like this the whole movie. And I was like, damn, okay. Like, they replaced the voice actor finally with a dude. And it was me and Robert. Shout out to Robert in the group chat as well. It was Korean. It was Korean. They had a grown-ass man playing grown-ass Naruto. But I was like, oh. And like me and Naruto. Me and Robert looked at each other. We were like, damn, Korea. Like, we see you. Oh my God! Like and like now you just kind of go back and you watch it all, and you're watching it again. And like, it's weird because now though, like we're so diverse in anime. Is it weird that you recognize voice actors now?
Yes.
Is
yes.
It's like the norm.
That's literally.
Like, I know, and
it doesn't even have.
It goes beyond anime.
That's
I think
exactly what I was
going to
say.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say. Okay,
it
so
doesn't
it goes
have to be
beyond.
anime.
Prime example. I was watching Orange Is the New Black. And the lady who did I don't know if any of you watched it, but the lady who was doing like all the meditation and stuff, okay. she was the voice actor for one of the characters on Rugrats, and I'm like, I know her voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, the Spider-Man game that dropped for PS4, that's the voice actor for Sasuke in English. That was him.
Oh wow.
We know our shit. Well, and even to also piggyback off what you're saying, even normal cartoons, you hear those voice actors out and about too. A lot of them are way older than the anime crowd, but yeah, like I follow the voice actor of Tommy Pickles on TikTok, and she's like, I think in her 40s, and she still sounds like it. She can do it.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I think her kids can do it too.
Yeah.
Her daughter. She has 2 daughters.
Yeah, and they try to do it, and
yeah.
she's like, hey, I'm Tommy Pickles, and I'm like, how do you? That's really weird. Don't go around doing that. But like, I respect you because I did love the Rugrats. So, but yeah, it's like the voice actors for many different shows. I think I don't know if they went a little racial with it, but is it just me? I'm asking. Okay, number 5 from Kids Next Door. Angela from Rugrats.
Angelica.
No, the little black girl.
The
Oh,
black girl,
Susie?
yeah,
Susie. Why I say Angela?
Hmm.
Susie, and there's one more show. I think they all have the same voice actor, and it's a black woman, and she's playing a black girl on every single show.
Ironically enough,
Ah, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
ironically enough, thinking about it, Susie and the girl number 5, they kind of look the same too. Like it could
Yeah,
just
well,
be
they're
an
both
older
little kids.
version
They're
of
both,
Susie.
yeah, they're both,
Theories.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
Conspiracies, but like, yeah, it's like it's weird. It's like, huh? But I can't remember what I was watching, and I want to say it was Full Metal Alchemist, honestly. And one of the generals or whomever, you know, because that show, I mean, that show definitely kind of takes place in Europe. I would say Europe is that show.
Mhm.
Everybody was pretty straightforward. But I think one of the voice actors in the show for one of the people that portrayed White were black. So it's like, it threw me off because I was like, that's not what, I'm not trying to put race on a voice, but I was like, that's not what I expected. I respect, because you did a great job, but I was like, it's like, hello, my name is Thomas. I'm like, who are you? Like, like what? Like that's crazy that they do that, and you never really know. People can
Mhm.
alter their vocal cords. That's a thing too.
We were bringing this up earlier about Dragon Ball, but Trigun. I'll let Gary get to the Dragon Ball part, but Trigun, their dubbed actor or their subbed actor, their original actor, did the whole series and the movie. But when you get to the dub section, it was 5 different voice actors for the series and
I
the
did not
movie.
know that.
And I've watched the whole series. I didn't even know that. Like, because it's authentic. He's so goofy and stuff like that. And he changes his voice in the show so much that it's almost hard to tell that it's different people. And
Talent.
yeah, well, and so here's the thing, though, because I've watched it dubbed and subbed. In subbed, he does so many, like he was saying, change his voice so many times in subbed, and then you get to the dubbed, and dubbed is like, it took 5 people to do what one guy did. Like, I think that's amazing. So, but it's reverse. We were talking about that before. Is
Okay. Yeah. So the Goku aspect, the Dragon Ball fun fact is, I found this out the other day, and I let them know too. Is if you guys don't remember either, but a cool show growing up with me was also Ed, and Eddie. And for those of you that know, is the Rolf meme where he's standing in the doorway looking out. I'll let you look it up. Rolf meme.
I'm gonna cut you off
Go ahead.
because there's a fun fact to add on top of your fun fact.
Okay, go ahead.
we're just
For those
full of
who
fun,
do not
fun
know
size.
about that meme, and there's a video on it. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, that scene literally happens in a millisecond. When he's standing at the doorway, that literally happens in a millisecond.
So
Almost a
they
millisecond.
So they freeze framed it.
They freeze framed it just to catch
Just-
that scene.
Wow.
That was
shout out to whoever that was. That's commitment. Like
Because something happens, he goes to the door, but it happens in the blink of an eye.
Oh, wow.
So the person who actually caught and created that meme had to freeze frame that episode
Oh my
to
God.
catch that.
So
We're talking about time frames.
so
I'm gonna
the
wait
the
for
voice actor that we know and love in Dragon Ball now, Sean Shamel, he actually was not the first voice actor in the English dub of Dragon Ball Z. And ironically, they have made Dragon Ball memes and giffies and videos over Ed, and Eddie and Dragon Ball and vice versa. Of Rolf, the son of a shepherd, that guy who plays
And they
that
make him a
voice.
Saiyan.
Yeah, that guy that plays that voice for Rolf is the first, like the Goku that fought Raditz in the original Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
That's Rolf. That's Rolf. I'm like, what? I found that out the other day.
That's why
Hey.
I say, man, talent.
Dude.
You have to just,
Hey Piccolo, you want to go? You want to go kill my brother?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And also another great actor, a voice actor in the Dragon Ball universe who also plays in many other animes. I want to say he did play in Full Metal, but Christopher Sabat, the voice actor for Vegeta, he has done Vegeta, Piccolo. I want to say Yamcha. He's played several other voices in the Dragon Ball franchise as well, just him alone, including mainly Vegeta.
Mhm.
And then he is All Might in My Hero Academia. That's him. Young Midoriya, like that's Vegeta.
That's crazy.
And he's also, I want to say it's
When Vegeta
Colonel
finally gets the
Strong.
muscles he
What's
wanted.
the guy? What's the guy from Full Metal with the brass knuckles? With the,
Oh,
with
I
the
know
mu-
who you're talking
Hey,
about. Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's Vegeta. Yeah, you can't see it until you see Vegeta now, but Vegeta's just a little more raspy.
And I'm just
Kakarot, do you
picturing
really think like?
a midget inside of like a big muscular suit?
Yeah, he's always playing very heavily masculine roles, and that was the thing. It was like he did that, and
Is he a really scrawny dude in real life? Or
no,
is he built?
he's got like a handlebar mustache. He's probably about as tall as Vegeta. Wears a fedora. He looks like one of the guys from MythBusters, honestly.
That's what actually came to mind when you said that.
Yeah, he actually looks like one of the guys. And what was also super cool about Sean and Chris was when the Dragon Ball Fighters game came out. It was at a Comic-Con or something, but they had a Superdome, and when Dragon Ball Fighters started, they had them play as Goku Super Saiyan Blue and Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue against each other and voice act the fight the whole time while they were playing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so like
Kind of like what Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, so yeah. How Yu-Gi-Oh! Another great example of voice acting is with Yu-Gi-Oh! The voice actors in English, they would do the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments once a year, Worlds.
That's one of those shows that I was talking about where in my mind, honestly, it's better to watch dub because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has so much filler.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has so much
And
filler,
so
but it's
But
also
see, they do their fillers.
But what we're also talking about is the editing. There was a lot of maybe seemed offensive tones in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like
Season 0.
Yeah, well,
All of Season 0.
well, the thing was like it wasn't the Shadow Realm; it was Hell. They
Yeah.
sent them to Hell after playing a card game. Another thing too was
Bandit Keith.
it was practicing the dark arts. Yeah, Bandit Keith pulled that gun out on Pegasus.
but that's
That's
that-
another thing too. But what I was also gonna say was, I'm sorry. The thing is with like Yu-Gi-Oh was what they would did at every world tournament. When you go qualify, you got to win. You got to win a local, regional, national, regional, and then you go and compete and not regional, national, but you got to go regional, national, and then go compete in worlds. And they always had like a little fun expo, and they had the voice actors of the anime duel each other for everybody for fun. Like it was all choreographed. It was all like I played this card, I played that. But they're reading a script. They're playing the cards verbatim. Oh no, he fell on live on Twitch. I gotta go move it. But they did that. And what they also
Can you imagine
did,
watching that?
Yeah, they're watching like no, it fell.
And,
And,
like getting really close, and all of a sudden the screen just falls
yeah,
on.
right?
Like,
That's crazy. Okay, so
oh,
like, the
I'm
whole
just
thing-
picturing someone jumping while they're
Yeah.
watching that, and then like
yeah,
drop.
right? So the whole thing, that'll be a funny one for later on in the show. So the whole thing was, I'll keep talking.
They're gonna make a
while I'll
TikTok
keep-
out of that scene.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what
I'll keep talking while
the whole thing was.
Uh,
Oh man.
So what happened is they would do it and they would choreograph the scene for fun and make it for the fan base and everything, and it was super fun and everything, really really cool. And it was for the fan service.
So you really gonna sit there and ignore that comment that we just got?
That's I think that might
What
be
is it?
Victor or
What'd they say?
or
Look at
Ron.
these guys are professional.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Victor.
Oh, is it Victor? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate it,
Victor.
Victor. Thanks. Oh, also, guys, sorry I stepped off screen. If you guys are tuning in and everything like that later on, whatever. But follow us on Twitch, Anime and Beer 93. That's also our Twitch page. We're gonna try to do more live episodes while we're filming for the YouTube channel.
Now that
Also,
the air
if you
conditioner
don't,
works.
yeah, right now the air conditioning works. We gotta pay for air conditioning, guys. We need more subscribers. But yeah, dude, like voice acting. So like, I mean, how far are we in right now? Let's get in it. Let's see, how far are we in? We're only 34 minutes in, and we've touched a lot of topics. And really, I think what the biggest thing is.
You know what? One of my pet peeves. So no, you know what? One of my pet peeves. The reason why I'm gonna say subbed wins every single day of the week,
Tell 'em.
and it's really simple. It's because I can't count how many times an anime comes out, and they only do half the anime in subbed or dubbed. And
One Piece.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you
Like
mean.
One Piece is at like what 400. There's
Oh, yeah.
there's
Oh,
900 episodes
oh,
of One Piece, and there's only 400 dubbed.
Dubbed, yeah.
And that's why I've never watched dubbed, because I'm like, we're like 500 episodes beyond that. I'm not gonna go back
Mm.
to the original.
And it spoils you. So when you're watching that 400 in dub, you're like, oh man, I can listen. Washing dishes, oh man, a fight's about to come up. When you finally hit that sub mark,
We had this conversation
you
the other
realize
day.
you have to pay attention. You look down and you just hear, I'm like, what the word just happened?
Nani?
Like,
You don't know if
what
it's
just happened?
great. You don't know if
Gasayo tabayo!
it sounds ridiculously loud, and they start screaming, and then you go and you look, and it's just Luffy hungry, and you're like, oh, okay, I can.
No, how you know is like off screen, all you hear is. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, like, I was like, like he whines. He's like, and I'm like, okay, well, he's hungry. I did like when he fought Katakuri. He goes, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm aggravated with this fight. And he gets up and he goes, and Katakuri's like, what was that about? He goes, nothing. I'm good now, and I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, okay, well, Luffy's back.
Sounds kind of like my wife. Tired. I'm hungry.
Yeah, right. That's what like that's the whole thing is. I definitely agree with you on that. I'll never forget the first time I ever watched Dragon Ball subbed, and I was a little kid, and my dad read the whole movie to me, subtitled me. I was like 6, 7 years old. He woke me up on a school night, and he goes, hey, son, shaking me in the middle of the bed. What? I thought I was gonna get my ass beat. I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, what, Dad? He goes, you want to watch Dragon Ball Z? I sat up. I was like, hell yeah, I want to watch Dragon Ball Z. I didn't say hell yeah because I was a kid, but went and read the whole Wrath of the Dragon Ball Z movie to me in sub. That was the first, and that was when you couldn't get any of the Dragon Ball movies yet. They were all on VHS subbed.
That's another thing. Like even the Naruto ones, they're not in dubbed yet.
No,
You
gotta
have
find
to watch them subbed.
Yeah, you gotta find them dubbed, and even if they're
You have
dubbed,
to find them subbed. You have to
True.
find them subbed. A lot of the movies, a lot of anime, you still have to. We were just.
I just told him I saw Stampede about a month ago because they released it on Funimation, and then I watched it subbed. I mean, to cut you off, I watched it subbed. He comes in the room, like I just bought a TV. He comes in the room because what are you watching? I'm like One Piece Stampede, and I go to cut it back on because I went to go do something that day, and I got back home later that night, and I cut it back on Funimation, and then it's dubbed the same day. They released the dub and sub, like Funimation. I don't know what that was about. Maybe a malfunction. But they released the sub and dubbed within like an hour, like within a several hour span.
One guy's like listening and typing as fast as can. The other guy's like spitting.
Yeah. It's like the
I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, it's like the rappers that say
They got a
they're gonna-
glass window. They're staring at each other.
It's like the rappers that say like, you know, like, oh, I freestyle, like Lil Wayne freestyles in the booth. I'm like, that's cool, but who wrote all that shit down? Because he's got to go on tour next week, and
That's the thing that kills me. Every single time someone's like, "Oh, this new rap came out, it's freestyle." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not anymore. Someone just copied it. He has to sing it every single concert.
time, yeah.
It's not freestyle anymore. There's no freestyle. Someone wrote it down. You can probably get the guitar lyrics out on the internet. Like, it's not."
Like, okay, so like the whole thing is, I mean, like, well, I guess another question I would have to ask is, if you're gonna put somebody on anime, would you play a subbed or a dubbed the first time for him?
So dubbed. The
Dubbed.
reason why I always do dubbed, and it's actually really hard to find a good dub to like introduce someone to,
Agreed.
is because most people will not read it. They won't. You put the subbed on, and they'll be like, but if you get them enticed into like 5 episodes, and then you go, oh, the rest of it's all in subbed, then they'll be like, wait, what? Well, no, I want some more. Give me some more. Give it to me.
You have to read.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then let's be real right now, okay? These two mofos over here are way ahead of me in most shows because they read the manga. You gotta read the manga anyways.
Hey,
there's no
how are
voice
your-
actors
Hey,
for that.
how are your fight scenes?
Yes, I'll fight you on the fight scenes all
However
day
my
long.
imagination makes them.
Exactly.
Except
Hey,
for the new,
I'm still on my whole. You ain't got an opener head ass motherfucker.
except on the new Seven Deadly Sins, where everyone dies of jizz poisoning.
Oh
You
no, I
seen
went
that?
back and watched it. I watched it finally, and this is another thing I was talking about with editing with anime. And the thing was, man, if people at home that don't know is like, look, and we've talked about it before on shows, and Kwanzi and Quentin may agree or may disagree. We control the fate of anime.
We do.
And the thing is like, if we're not gonna watch it, guess what? It's going to be shit quality. You're not gonna get what you want out of it. And guess what you're gonna do? Resort to the manga. And everybody bashing these animes and bashing these movies, and everybody's saying, well, it wasn't good quality. Shut up, bitch. If you and I look, and this is new school kids, I'm telling you, it's not us 90s babies and back, because we were watching stuff on Etch-a-Sketches. Like, these kids nowadays, boy, are like, well,
They got it made.
I don't like it subbed. I prefer it dubbed. Why? Well, I don't like to read. And that's why you never made honor roll. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's the thing.
Speaking of reading,
And that's not an excuse, okay? I'm gonna throw that out there right now because I'm a dyslexic motherfucker.
That's right, you are. I
Who,
forgot about
who
that.
can't read at all. And
Yeah.
so when I'm watching subbed, especially when they're rapping in the show and they're like throwing a million facts out at a time, it drives my wife crazy when I'm watching it because I'm sitting there and I'm like, pause.
You'll pause when I come down too to ask a question because you're like, yo, and I keep
Pause.
And now that you said that, I feel like a dick 'cause he's
sometimes
dyslexic.
they're talking so fast that the sub like goes to the next line too fast. I'm literally sitting there like backing up and waiting for that one screen to pop up for me to be like, pause. Okay, that's what it says. Got it. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, you literally have. I didn't even think about that. You have to freeze frame
Yeah,
literally each line in the show, and
that's where you know, I'm gonna give it to you know, anime over manga because of the battle scenes, but I'm gonna give it to manga over anime because you authentically have
blasphemy.
like it's all right in front of your face. Now here's the thing that kills me though, and this is what really throws me off, especially you because you're a super manga reader, is that like the manga's like
he's taking it out on you because he can't take it out on Matt.
the manga's like Nani? And
Yeah.
then the anime's like Konnichiwa! Nani? And you're like, where did the rest of that come from? Where
Well, dude, when we talked about it today in the car, it's like you know the whole thing with like you know, and that's a whole other topic too, manga or the anime. But at the same time too, think about it. You gotta go ahead and translate it where a fight might be 5-6 frames, it might be 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like, man, dude, it's crazy. Like
I'm about to make me a drink of Young Midori
I do love.
and sour.
I do love the emphasizing on the power ups though in the manga because you actually get to have it stand still in front of your face. Yes, the color would be great, but I know it's expensive to put on paper.
Well, there's some manga and there's some light novels that do color.
Mhm.
That's my other thing is, and one of the other reasons why I dog on manga all the time is because I'm a big details person, which is weird because I hate fillers. But I've read a couple light novels. I don't have a problem with light novels. One of them that kills me to this day that they just don't seem to want to continue is No Game, No Life. It's like one of the best colored graphics anime ever. As a great storyline. They made a movie, but they won't continue the anime. And I'm like, why not? And I don't know. Maybe it's because there's not enough physical action. I don't know. People like violence. Let's be real, okay? The majority of animes, I want to say they fail in the first season because they don't have enough emotion or violence. Like, for real.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like it's okay. So like to also piggyback off that. It's like reading a manga is like text messaging. You can't decipher someone's emotions and feelings through text message. Okay,
You can't.
You
Like
can't.
that Key and Peele.
Yeah,
episode.
you can't do it. It's like texting a girl and you're like, hey, what's up? What's up? What are you doing? 20 minutes later.
You are so right. But for that same exact fact is the reason why I think that the anime community struggles for live action, because people want to translate the emotion of the manga
I'm done.
differently
He
between
said
the
the-
live
He
action.
said the word.
And
We don't
the
say it around
anime.
these parts.
We were just talking about
No.
this.
Done.
What was the series that just got canked?
Oh God.
Last
God.
Avatar. Or,
Yeah.
Airbender.
Well, the creators got into a disagreement.
The
Did you see
creators
that?
put a statement out, and they go,
Oh,
"This
God.
is the hardest professional decision we've ever made in our lives.
I'm gonna piggyback off.
but-
Of
We have decided to cancel the contract with Netflix because what we envisioned and what they envisioned are two different things." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "No shit," because it's Netflix live action.
Netflix wants it to be Netflix, but to also piggyback off
Because
of
they
that,
do trash
Yeah.
live action, every
Well-
single one of them. Even Seven Deadly Sins. The reason why we got the crappy third season of Seven Deadly Sins, in case you didn't know,
Come on, the 6 episodes.
is the third season. There's like a whole third season.
One
that-
of the seasons only has like 2-3 episodes in it.
what, Seven Deadly Sins?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
reason
that's
why
the,
we
I
got
know
such
what
a
you're talking
crappy
about. I know
one
what you're
is
talking
because they came out with the live action movie and it tanked so bad that the animation crew for the first two seasons said, "We're not doing your anime anymore," and walked away. Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine any show?
It was-
Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, My
Dude,
Hero,
God bless.
One Piece. They came out with
God
a
bless,
live action
man.
movie, and then the animators were like, "Peace, we're
I mean-
done.
I
This
mean-
is awful. We're not even going to represent you anymore."
I mean, like the whole thing is too is like, man, you go to give them some slack, man. Like you give these production companies an inch and they want to take like 37 miles. And the thing is like they like the creators of Avatar were like, well, maybe they'll still live by the standards and they'll do well. No, they won't.
Oh, by the way,
They will not.
firebenders
it.
can't firebend anymore unless there's already fire. Because I just made that up.
Who the fuck said
M. Night
that?
Shyamalan. Fuck him.
Who said that?
He just said he just.
Who said that?
M. Night
He
Shyamalan.
said that?
That's what he did with the live action
What he
movie.
tweets? Like, fuck you, M. Night Shyamalan. I'm
He was
sorry.
like, "Yo, you're gonna need a tiki torch around because
I
unless
mean,
you
they
got a
were
match."
made OP. I mean, you had
Oh, God. But
water
they-
benders who can only bend if there was water. Earth benders who can only bend if there was earth. The only person who can bend out of free will
were
airbenders.
airbenders. Yeah, but
Mhm.
still, even in fire was you produced your chi to create flames. It was like nature elements
Like
in,
heating your
in
body.
Naruto. Yeah,
one of
in
the
Naruto.
most surprising things about the Avatar series is that they never did an episode where the airbenders just took the fire away, because fire's supposed to need oxygen to burn. They never did an episode where an airbender just like took the air
Actually,
away.
yeah,
to
I
burn.
think that was something they kind
The
of wanted
fire.
to avoid. Was like, I know you're talking about creating an air vacuum to where you cannot produce flames. Like, yeah, scientifically that'd be great, but like that.
It's not scientific. That's the catch, and that's. I mean, we're
Putting
getting
a
into anime
flame, putting a
versus
flame,
science.
putting
Oh,
putting a
Jesus.
flame, putting a flame in a vacuum. It's gonna stay. It's gonna stay lit. Okay, so and also that's another reason why they didn't make airbenders malicious.
But at the same time, you have they don't do the vacuum thing. But in the show, every single time Aang, as far as I'm aware,
I don't mean a literal
uses,
vacuum.
That's not what I'm saying. Anytime Aang uses airbending, it always defeats fire. I can't remember a single scene where Aang was like airbending, and then the fire was like, "Nope, I'm still coming at you."
Shout out to you guys commenting on our Twitch channel. For real, thank you guys so much. You're not going unnoticed. My phone is just extremely far away. I'll let Kwanzaa check it out, but I'm just giving you guys shout outs. Thank you guys so much.
What's it say? Was it?
Andy, what's up, Andy?
Hey, what up? Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the likes and follows.
What's up,
Once again,
what's up?
guys, if you're tuning in on our Twitch channel, Thank you so much. And if you guys didn't catch our Twitch channel, we're also filming it for YouTube. Thank you so much again. Follow us on Twitch, Anime and Beer 93. Seriously. Awesome. Thank you guys for the love and support. You're not going unnoticed. I see little pop-ups over here on the screen, but we're over here. I'm like 10 feet away. I'm over here. I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna start commenting back. Here we go.
Thank you guys.
Technology. All right, we're all on the same page.
Well, okay, so we're kind of getting off a little of a tangent right here. So my whole thing is like, do you guys have an anime you prefer one over the other that's subbed or dubbed? Because that's our topic today, is subbed or dubbed. Would you say you could sit down and rewatch or watch something?
Well, let me go through my list because you guys talked this whole time.
He can look through his list. I'm
not looking through his list. I already know. I know these things, Q.
Well, then shoot. You said you
come on. Hey, Kwanzi.
Spit it. No. Come on, Kwanzi.
Let's go. Rush me. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now, just to go over a couple, I prefer One Piece sub over dub, Dragon Ball sub over dub, Digimon.
Woo!
I prefer dub over sub.
You're getting me hot.
And the reason Digimon is dub over sub is because I might catch heat for this.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
I hate the Braveheart Digivolution theme. It's called Braveheart, if you didn't know.
Is that the one from the final movie?
No, this is like the OG
I'm not
Digimon.
trying to explain.
The Braveheart, what do you mean?
The name of the theme song in the OG Digimon is called Braveheart.
Oh, where it's like dun 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 dun.
This reminds me of the...
No,
theme.
bro, I like the techno EDM.
I hate that theme.
Like that's another
Digimon,
that's another
Monsters.
thing too to also
all like
reiterate
dubbed.
subbed and dubbed. Yes, that's another good topic.
So-
Or theme songs. They redid the original theme song.
That's the thing, though, and that's one of my favorite things with, like, cool dubs is that they leave the theme song alone. And also, some of my favorite theme songs are the ones that are, like, half English and then half Japanese, and they're like, oh, we don't have to redo this because...
Share the word.
Okay, so I gotta ask.
Tokyo Ghoul.
I gotta ask. And even anybody on Twitch right now, feel free to comment on this. Okay.
Yes, and the original Digimon was the best.
Okay.
Yo,
Head Chala or Dragon Rock the Dragon?
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, me neither.
Chala! Head Chala! It's the original Dragon Ball Z theme song versus Dragon. Dun 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 dun.
Definitely that one.
Dragon Ball Z. I was like, oh shit, what is this? This shit goes hard. On the next
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's
One
what I'm
Piece
saying.
did it too with the 4 kids.
Well,
Frieza and Goku will stand and stare at each other while they scream at the top of their lungs.
You're not
going to
come at my childhood. You're not going to come at my childhood like that. So another one they did too was Naruto. Naruto did like come out like ooh, like the original song, and then you had like this like it was like a bunch of ninja sounds. I don't know how I feel about it because Naruto could have gone 50-50, and I'll probably play those theme songs. If you guys know what those theme songs are, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and then leave a comment again. But no, seriously, like it was weird because either one of it was like leap, Kia, rise. I was like, what is this? Like I didn't, and then it would like immediately in the original Naruto, instant guitar riff like. I'm like, what is this? Rise. I'm like, I'm rise. I'm risen. I don't know what's going on. What am I watching?
My favorite thing out of anime is not actually Japanese or American. It's when Koreans get a hold of the intro song because they do the Korean K-pop and they just like, they bomb.
That's a dark documentary, by the way. If you guys didn't know, Korean K-pop, that's a dark documentary.
It's not watching. You're scaring me now.
I know.
Is it like as dark as Tokyo Ghoul dark?
No,
or?
it's Korea does not play with their music. That's all I'm saying.
No, they don't. Well, I mean, neither North nor South Korea plays with anything. They like to pretend they do, but they don't. I mean,
but continue what you're saying. I don't want to get flagged by Korea and get bombed.
I mean, can you imagine this? I mean, like in all reality, like in America, if like our pastime was everyone went to like a computer library to game. No one does that. Everyone buys their own laptop. They go to their own house and they do it while they're eating pizza rolls and they're at their desk. Could you imagine if like you and your crew had to roll up and they were like, yo, we can go game at the game shop.
Then they see us pull up and they're like, oh, time to go.
Yeah.
Speaking of game shops, shout out to the OG Narf and Cram crowd. You know who you are. Just saying, my guys on Twitch, you guys know who you are. OG Narf and Cram, giving a shout out to that. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's, oh man, it's, okay. So I feel like the subbed and dubbed topic is the same as the manga and anime topic. But what would you say the third party is to the subbed and dubbed crowd? If manga and anime watchers don't want live action, what do subbed and dubbed watchers not want?
Not want?
Yeah.
Ooh. I can't.
Shitty voice acting.
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong.
You know,
That's about
honestly,
it. Shitty voice acting.
honestly, another thing that subbed and dubbed does, because dubbed is, normally we're talking about English. I mean, they dub it in lots of different languages, but let's be realistic, most of it's English. The only other thing that really bothers me between the two, which also never gets talked about, is editing. Because if you
Yes.
watch it in subbed,
We were kind of talking about that on and off again, was the editing, uncut versus edited.
Mhm.
right?
What's
But
our-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
What's
it.
our time? Yeah, you just keep talking.
But
Should say
exactly.
Gotcha.
It's
55 minutes.
it's you have situations like, man, there's this anime that I watched when I was a kid. It was online. It was called like Blood Plus Plus. It was about vampires, and I remember.
We're back on it again. Bloopers coming to you live from Anime and Beer. No, this thing used to hold before. Keep talking. Don't worry about me.
It's
The
not
thing
as
is, I see it moving.
it's not as tight as it used to be.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, we did fall. Yep. Took a tumble.
Oh, man. This thing is just not
You got me
fucking
tripping. Oh, stumbling.
Shout out to Andy. I used to work with Andy. Became really good friends. We don't hang out. We need to change that, Andy.
Yo,
we do need
did-
to hang out. But
Andy-
thank you. It is
Andy-
not my fault.
Andy-
But thank you for sticking
Shout
in the
out to all
chat.
Twitch love.
Andy, if you're on there, because we were talking about
It's
Digimon,
Quanzi's fault.
and since we got a little bit of audience here, you talked about the original Digimon. Have you been watching the reboot of the original Digimon?
Yes.
we
Yes,
had
question.
in
Let
the
us know.
last episode we had a lot of stuff to
Lot
talk about.
on that.
We had
We'd
a lot
love
of-
for you to come on the show and kind of talk about it too, if you'd like.
We wanted to display the last episode, but there's been some technical difficulties. A lot of technical.
Difficulties.
I don't even know if that episode should be shared because there was 4 of us and we were all drunk, very drunk. Well, technically
still
Blue
gonna
was
share
there,
it.
so it was.
I'm still
But
share that one like when we get to episode 100.
we should. What you should do
Hit an
is,
episode.
since the video and the audio don't match up, is you should just replace the video with like one of those witness things, so it looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
you don't have to
yeah.
the whole image is like behind the curtain.
But-
Someone like.
But I mean, the whole thing is what I think what subbed and dubbed watchers want. I think it's hard because it's different in every language, but I think we want good chemistry between.
Oh no, that's a well. See, no,
This is me. This is my opinion.
That's-
That's all I'm saying.
So, and I guess you're getting the categories though, is because I want that. No, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right for both of them because there's a lot of sub that I don't like because someone's annoying, and there's a lot of dubbed I don't like because someone's annoying. And
Well, look at Black Clover. Black Clover, he was annoying as hell, and it took you and Craig to get me to go back and watch Black Clover again, and now I'm reading the manga.
But the only reason why I got into that, and you're the one who got me on it, is because you said that it was the original Naruto crew. It was supposed to be like the original Naruto and Sasuke, and so
Yeah,
when-
you get that vibe though.
it's Asu
Asta and
Asta.
Yuna. They're
Asta.
foster brothers or
When-
foster family.
When Asta does his little whiny thing, I watched the original Naruto subbed, so I don't have a problem with it. I'm like, okay, it's Naruto. This is how Naruto was when he was a kid. And everyone else is like, oh, he's so whiny and annoying. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you guys watched it dubbed. And the original Naruto dubbed was like, believe it! Growly, angry girl man voice.
Yeah.
And versus the original Naruto was like, ah! Like,
Did you know that Japanese word used for believe it didn't really mean anything. When he would say believe it in the sub, that word...
They didn't believe anything.
That word didn't mean anything. It was a made-up word.
Shout out to the third Hokage for taking care of the fourth Hokage's child and abandoning him in an apartment and not training on him. Shit.
Oh no. So are you guys just gonna get up and leave like we're really not recording?
No, it's all you.
Wow, okay. This is what I have to deal with. You guys really got
like 2
up.
seconds. I'm calm down, breathe.
And Garrett really got up and left. Like we're not
He's gone. He left. He went next door or something. I don't know. He went to go do push-ups. Said he was training to be a Super Saiyan. That's what happened. So,
you know what? This is what Ice Cube was talking about in No Vaseline. I'm just saying.
Like I was bringing back earlier, though, you know, the other thing about sub versus dubbed is that there's a lot of animes that never got dubbed. They never set up a cast for it. So there's a lot of really good animes out there that literally, like, or the dub version got censored. The dub version didn't cut it for America. One of the big animes that just relaunched is Re:Zero. And a lot of people who aren't tracking on Re:Zero after season 1, the reason why it took so long for season 2 is because it got banned. It got banned in like 6 countries. And then everyone came back and was like, whoa, hold up. You know, it's like a video game where you die and you reset back in your last place. And the reason why they had to pitch it that way is because originally, like I guess a lot of countries don't like the idea of reincarnation. They don't want people killing themselves thinking they're going to just come back as someone else.
Oh,
but when they turn around and they repitched the show of Re:Zero as, oh, it's like a video game. He's going to die. He's going to go back to a save point. And then they started unlocking a little bit more. But that is probably, I'm not going to lie, I've watched a lot of animes. I would put that probably in like the top 3 most brutal anime there is. Because you see literally the main character die. I don't know, there's only like 30 episodes right now, and he's probably died 25 times. And in awful, horrible ways. And you like literally, one of the episodes, you literally get to see him trying to put his intestines back into his stomach while he's dying. Like, it is literally the most brutal anime.
So we're gonna do
there
a
is.
top 10 gory anime, opinion video another day.
But where I was going with that is, they didn't come out with a dubbed version of that until after someone else got a hold of it and made a director's version, which had like little extra scenes and stuff like that. But I mean, like, so much work had to go into this. They literally had to rewrite and redesign the anime before they would even get that far with it. And then all of a sudden they rewrote, redesigned, and then all of a sudden you get German, Spanish, like everyone jumped on board. Another anime that you can't find anywhere else is Vinland.
Vinland Saga is very, very, very underrated.
If you don't watch it subbed, there's no English dub. It's literally it's a Finland anime. Like, that's unheard of. It's a Finland anime.
There's something else that's not dubbed either. I'm trying to think.
And that is a fantastic anime. Shout out to, I think it was Matt who put me on that. It was great.
Matt, we didn't forget about you, bro. We still want to do that One Piece episode. Let us know when you're available, brother.
Yeah, man,
for
we're
real.
on your schedule.
Seriously, we were willing to schedule. We both got free time up. We want to do that One Piece episode, kind of make it a little bit of limelight. Let us shine us on your expertise on One Piece. Let us know, man. But yeah, man. I mean, to kind of close out today, guys. Let everybody know at home. Appreciate everybody on Twitch as well. So, sub or dub?
At the end of the day, it's personal preference. It's all about what you watch, who you watch it with, and how you're feeling that day. If I'm feeling, if I'm feeling a focused day, shout out to my wife for being very understanding, because there are days I'm watching subbed and I'm into it, and every time she talked to me, I pause it. And, you know, she's like, "Why do you pause it every time?" And it's like, she watches anime too, but she normally watches dubbed and not. Let's watch subs so you can see. And she watched and she's like, I understand now. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I don't want to activate Byakugan every time, talk to you.
Yeah,
watch the
absolutely.
video, watch and read,
Absolutely.
But yeah, it just all depends on how I feel. I mean, if I just want to do some housework but still watch anime, I'm watching dubbed. If I'm just
Personal preference. Personal preference. What you got? What you got, Q?
No, I was just tag teaming off of him. All I'm picturing is like when your girls try to start starting an argument while you're watching sub, and you're like, all right, really, we're gonna do this right now. I'm trying to read. Okay, I'm trying to be an adult and read this.
I definitely feel like I'm watching like a sports game when I'm watching sub because I'm like, please don't interrupt me. But what would you say though? Like, subbed or dubbed?
I'm gonna say this is that some animes get better with dubbed, but in all reality, if you're not watching subbed, you're missing out on so many animes. So it's one of those things. It's not about, for me.
Once again, preference, or would you say
it's not about for me on whether you're a subbed or dubbed person? It's about for me whether you're an anime lover. If you love anime,
really good answer,
and you're going to watch
Really good
anime,
answer.
you need to watch some subbed. It's the same concept as we were just talking about it, as how people don't dub certain things. People don't make anime of things after a couple of seasons, so you have to go back and find the manga. I can't count how many times I've had to do that and figure out what's going on, because sometimes they don't. The second season, the third season, it comes out 2 or 3 years later, or sometimes it just never comes out, and so you're left at a cliffhanger. I said it earlier, No Game, No Life. That's like a perfect example. They have like 6 light novels out right now, and there's one anime and a movie, and the movie was a prequel, which wasn't even current. And so it's one of those things where it explained a lot, but my final saying, if you love anime and you want to watch a bunch of this stuff that people are saying is really cool, you need to be able to read it. If you like dubbed, then go back and watch it dubbed later.
Well, I mean, I don't know how to follow up because you guys definitely gave some solid answers, and my whole thing is like I kind of no, I do agree. To some extent, it's a preference. And the whole thing is like, I have been with, like, dating, for instance. One girl might watch subbed with me. Another one might watch dubbed with me. And, the whole thing is like, if you call yourself, I agree, if you call yourself an anime fan, you got to give some subbed. Also agree, too, if you have a preference, go with that preference. There's no discrimination in anime, only what, you want out of it. And for the people that say they don't want one or the other, well, for my dubbed watchers, I would say, well, read the manga. And for my subbed watchers, I would say, well, hey, read the manga. That's another thing, too, is like you can still come to an equal ground on it as well. And I think that's a huge issue with it. And like I also said, and we talked about earlier, was we control the life of anime, especially when it's expanding. And manga is also the platform. Guys, they make these animes off their manga sales. It's no different from when they're making a superhero movie. Captain America, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. They make these movies because there's so much money in the comic books. If you buy the manga, you'll get that live action. You'll get that anime adaptation. You'll get that Netflix series. You'll get that Crunchyroll subscription. Give it some love. Give it a chance. And even if it's not your chance of that, give it something else too. Like, you know what? Dragon Ball may not be your thing. Me and these guys right here, we all have different anime preferences. That's why we're called Anime and Beer, not Dragon Ball Z and Beer, not One Piece and Beer, not Pokemon and Beer. Called Anime and Beer. It's a huge preference. So
Pokemon is the most American anime.
So I just want to say, though, closing out, guys, I appreciate you guys spending this time with me today.
I'm going to let him finish 1 second. Because he threw everything to manga. I do like to point out a lot that people always miss but a lot of animes are also based off of light novels. I like to bring that
Light
up all
novel.
the time.
Sorry.
One of his favorite animes that he got me on, that I mean we both love Crunchyroll over, is Dr. Stone, which is a light novel. It's not a manga,
So good.
and there is so much
So good.
intensity and
So good.
science and
so good. Especially if you're a science nerd, guys. If you love science, I definitely recommend. Like, if you want to be to backtrack a little bit while we're closing out, Dr. Stone is a great anime, and if you love science, watch it. And for all my 90s babies, remember how we used to watch the Magic School Bus in science class when our science teacher didn't want to do anything?
Bill Nye,
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Definitely, I feel like more teachers and more professors are going to be cutting on things like Dr. Stone.
Or Cells at Work.
Oh, sorry. As we're closing out, we got a huge comment here on our Twitch channel. Thank you so much. We're all about evolving and changing. What you got, Kwanzi?
So, 2 things. I forgot the first thing, so I'm going to go to the comment. Andy says he doesn't watch anime as much as us, but he said you got to watch sub and see how the show was originally intended. Otherwise, awesome. I feel when they change things for us, it removes the nostalgia of the show.
Thank you,
which
Andy.
It's spot on. So thank you, Andy, for that. I had to mention that before we closed out.
Absolutely.
But to piggyback off Andy's absolutely right, because take shows like Tower of God, God of High School. I think God of High School was.
You reading my mind over here?
Korean. It was Korea based. I forgot what they call their comic books. But
graphic
Tower
novels, maybe. I feel like everybody knows graphic novels.
It's a weird word.
Graphic novels is a book,
Tower,
and it has maybe 6 manga pages inside of it, just to show you what's going on.
I think it starts with an M or something. But Tower of God is a webtoon. So another thing is support these writers, because these were independent writers who wrote these stories
for sure.
that are now on Crunchyroll.
Agreed.
So the person who wrote Tower of God and posted it on webtoon got so much love from the readers. They reached out to these platforms. These platforms were like,
huge shout out, Andy, man. That's a solid point. And like I said before, you got to support these writers, man, because also too, as we're closing out, I know we keep saying it, but people like Oda and Masashi Kishimoto, the writers of Luffy and Naruto, the writers of One Piece and Naruto, the guys, they almost gave up writing because of the negative criticism and people telling them they couldn't do it. And the reason why we're able to make these episodes and make these podcasts, is because we're huge anime lovers, we're huge manga lovers, readers. We love this stuff. This is a huge thing that we did that we are super passionate about. And the whole thing is like, man, your support and your comments, we take into consideration hugely. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. Stan Lee wouldn't write any more manga, comic books. We wouldn't get the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Remember that. We would not get Infinity War and Endgame if it wasn't for Stan Lee. And you have to remember that. So definitely closing out, guys. Subbed or dubbed, it doesn't really matter. But you got to give subbed a chance. And you got to have a preference as well.
Just stop fighting about it.
Just stop fighting about it.
Point
for sure.
Fighting. It's all about what you like, and stop forcing your likes and preferences on other people.
The best example of that, even if you don't watch anime, is the Solo movie. No one wouldn't watch the Solo movie for Star Wars, and then they dropped 3 movies because of that, because they were like, oh, the fans don't want this, so we're out. They put the money in, they put the time in, they put the effort in, and sometimes even if it's crap, you got to put the best foot forward in order to get to the next step. That's,
absolutely.
We were just talking about that with several different animes.
Yeah. And we'll keep producing content as long as you keep watching. So thank you for tuning in to Anime and Beer. We'll come at you live next time. Go subscribe to our channel at Red Lightning Nerd. Anime and Beer. Guys, it's been awesome.
Just want to give a special shout out to Mr. Andy, whose Twitch tag is Andy Hand. Thank you for watching and commenting and
shout out to Victor and Big Ron for liking and subscribing as well. Guys, We'll tune in next time, all right? Peace!
For the credits, this is